Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally sitting down filming a video I've not like procrastinated on, but I just know this is gonna be quite an undertaking, and this is gonna be our hospital bag video, or what I'm packing in our hospital bags. For me, my husband, the baby, this is like everybody's stuff here. For the most part, there's like, you know, a couple last minute things, but this is basically everything and it's a lot. I'm not even gonna like pretend that we like packed reasonably, like I overpacked. That's just what I do. I'm an overpacker and it's totally fine. I just like acknowledge that about myself and I don't try to fight it. I just bring more stuff than I need and it's okay. It takes me longer to pack, it takes me longer to unpack, but I like feeling like I have everything and probably too much stuff. It honestly helps like manage, for me, the stress and the overwhelming nature of going on trips, or obviously going to like have a baby. The idea of just having a lot of stuff and feeling like there's not gonna be anything left behind, it gives me like a real sense of peace. So I feel like regardless of what kind of person you are, whether you're like an overpacker, an underpacker, or somewhere like kind of right in the middle, I think this video will still be really helpful for you because it's very thorough. It's very like all-inclusive. I feel like you could obviously skip some stuff, but there's probably very little you would need to add. So this video I think will include everything you could possibly need to bring in a hospital bag. Granted, I will put a disclaimer that this is my first baby. So this is all just based on a ton of research, and you know, obviously people that I know personally that have given birth, what they brought, what they needed, what they didn't need, lots of blog posts, YouTube videos, articles, all the things, all the different apps, like the pregnancy apps that give you a hospital list. I have gone through every single thing like on the internet, and I have kind of like aggregated all the information, and now it's all here. So hopefully this can kind of help y'all from having to do quite as much research as I did, because you can kind of take your list from this video and just know it's a result of a lot more research that y'all don't need to do because you're watching this. So I'm going to tell y'all everything we're bringing, what's in each bag, all that kind of good stuff. Hopefully I'm not going to go into like too much detail so that this video isn't forever long, even though it's probably going to be long. And I will try to link as much as I possibly can as well. If I don't link anything that y'all are curious about, just let me know in the comments and I will definitely provide a link for you for sure. And let me know if there's anything that I'm possibly missing or that y'all did differently. I would love to know like how everyone kind of personalizes their whole hospital experience and what they felt like really brought them a lot of peace and comfort, or what was just kind of unnecessary. And I'm sure for additional children that we have, I will probably film this again and it will probably be a lot different based on my actual experience. So without further ado, let's get into all the stuff I packed for our hospital bags to have our little baby boy. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the stuff that's actually here, and then at the end of the video I'll consult my list because I have a very long, very thorough bullet point list of everything that I wanted to include in the hospital bags, and I'll let y'all know the couple things that aren't in here yet just because we're still using them or whatever. Probably gonna be heading to the hospital in like a week and a half, I would guess. So it's definitely like, this is like very relevant. But I did pack this around, I think like 31 weeks, something like that. And the things that are missing are very minimal and will probably be in here in the next couple of days. Let's start with my bag that isn't closed. Basically how I have it organized is I have a bag of stuff that isn't closed but is like necessary for me and for the labor process. I have a bag for the baby which does have his initials on it, so I'm not gonna, well actually I guess I could show it because by the time y'all are seeing this probably would have already announced everything because he's gonna be born real soon, so I can probably show you the bag. So I have my bag, I have the baby's bag, I have a snack bag, I have a like suitcase for me with clothes, I have my husband's bag, and then some other various like things that are just floating around. So, and I did film a clip, I will insert that here actually. I filmed a clip of kind of what all this looks like right now, just kind of all piled up together, so you can kind of have like a general overview of all the bags, all the piles, kind of like what everything looks like from like an aerial perspective, so you can get a feel for the magnitude of the stuff here, but also so you can kind of see what everything looks like as it is, because I'm going to be kind of taking things out to show you. So this is, oh my god, this is so heavy. This is my like not clothes bag. I got this bag from Marley Lily. I got the baby's bag from Marley Lily, and a bunch of the like organizer pouches in here are from Marley Lily, and I bought these all myself. They're really nice, and the baby and I's stuff all match, which is kind of what I was going for. This is obviously kind of like a big weekender style, and I did get them monogrammed, so my stuff's monogrammed, like I said, so is the baby's, and this is just so nice. It's like quilted, it's got the different colors of gray, and it's super spacious. I know I inserted the footage of like what this looks like, but just so y'all can kind of see, this is what in here looks like. So it's like, it's super heavy. It's real packed up, but it's honestly not, I don't know, it's not a wild amount of stuff. So just to kind of like start grabbing some of the stuff that's not in pouches, I have my iPad case. This is a Vera Bradley one. These are actually available on Amazon, so I can link this, but I'm definitely gonna wanna bring my iPad. I think I do kind of just a lot of stuff on my iPad. I'm just like usually watching videos and stuff on there. I keep like notes on there and things. So I definitely think for like entertainment purposes, I'm gonna wanna have my iPad. I have a couple folders here. This folder y'all have seen in vlogs before, but this is just kind of like my notes folder. So I have my birth plan in here. I have a little index card with all of the different like doctors and people that my husband needs to call soon after the birth, like the pediatrician, the lactation consultant, our insurance, stuff like that. A bunch of my like notes from interviewing my doctor and the pediatrician. So this is just kind of like, I don't know, administrative. And then this is just I don't know, kind of like envelope type folder. It doesn't have pockets in it, and I know that we're probably going to be getting paperwork at the hospital, whether it's for the baby, for us, discharge stuff. I don't know exactly what, but I know we're probably going to be leaving with some paperwork, so I wanted to have a separate folder for keeping anything they give us while we're there. And then I have my promptly journal, which I have done a whole entire video on this. I will link that down below the video, and I'll link this product as well. This is kind of like a journal, like a childhood memory journal, but I do want to fill it out while I'm there, hopefully, because there is a section for like the birth itself, and I want to try to remember that like in the moment. It also has a spot for handprints and footprints. I'm hoping that's something that the hospital will be able to do for me. I also have a little like a bed sheet underpad. This is from Target. It's not even opened yet, but just in case if I do go into labor and my water breaks or anything's leaking, or all those fun, disgusting things, I could either use this in the car, or obviously if I go into labor here at home and you don't go to the hospital immediately, this will be good, I think, to keep like on the bed or on the couch or anywhere where I'm sitting, where it can just be kind of like a protective, waterproof kind of situation. I also think this will be really useful for postpartum, to protect the bed and the sheets, especially while you're sleeping, from, again, all the leakage that can occur. I have a tripod, one of the ones that has kind of like the bendy legs that you can wrap around the side of a table or armrest of the hospital bed and stuff like that, or obviously you can just use it as a regular tripod, but this tripod is handy for being able to kind of put it almost anywhere. And then it has a little, well, this is like a separate attachment, but this is a little cell phone attachment, so if we want to do some pictures in the hospital, I'm bringing my camera too, but if we want to do some family photos in the hospital or record any videos on a phone rather than just the camera, I'll have my tripod, and we'll be able to hook our phones up to it. So this is definitely a must-have for me. Definitely a water bottle. I mean, I literally go nowhere without like my water bottle. I always have it within arm's distance of me because I'm constantly chugging water. I did buy like the straw lid. Usually these Royal Change water bottles come with just a flip lid, but I got the straw lid because I feel like that's just gonna be so much easier for drinking purposes when I'm just like laying there. I feel like a reusable water bottle is just really good to have, not just for labor and delivery, but like your whole rest of your stay. I just wanna have copious amounts of water near me at all times, and rather than just using the little cups that the hospital gives you. And then one of the pouches that I purchased to kind of match my bag was this one. This is a little cosmetics case. Again, it's like that quilted kind of heathered gray and gold hardware. I just love these. They're so flexy, and honestly they fit so much stuff. They're like deceivingly big. You can kind of see in here. I honestly just have more pouches within this pouch, but there's a lot in here. I'm not gonna go through every single thing like individually, but I'll just kind of tell you generally what I'm storing in here. So I have my vitamins. This is like a cute little travel pack of vitamins. You definitely still need to be taking your prenatals or postnatals, whatever you're gonna be taking during and after labor, so I wanted to make sure I had those packed in here. Plus I put my husband's vitamins in here as well, so those are packed and ready to go. I have a whole bunch of masks. I'm sure the hospital will probably have these as well, but I packed a bunch of disposable masks for me and my husband, and then some reusable ones. I typically like layer these up. I obviously don't really plan on getting all too like done up while we're at the hospital, but like I said, I definitely want to take some pictures, you know, for Instagram, mostly of the baby, but I think we'll want to take a couple like cute little family pictures, hence the tripod. So I'm bringing some kind of more get ready stuff. We'll see if I actually do. But in here I just had basically almost no jewelry. I literally just put my silicone wedding ring in here since I don't plan on wearing my actual wedding ring, which doesn't even really fit me right now. And everything I've heard, and actually the classes I took for where I'm delivering, say do not wear your wedding ring. Your fingers are gonna swell. If you have to get surgery, they're gonna have to cut them off of you. It's just a bad idea, and obviously you don't want them getting lost or misplaced or any of that. So I'm not even gonna wear my wedding ring. I will put this on if I even really feel a need to. And then I also have a little necklace with my son's first initial on it that I feel like I'll probably want to wear for some pictures and stuff, since I haven't gotten to wear it yet, since nobody knows his name. And then I have like basically just a couple little pouches in here, and they're all of course Ipsy. So this is more or less my husband's, because I don't think I'm gonna be really spending a whole lot of time worried about my skincare routine, but my husband is crazy about his skincare routine. So I have basically travel sizes of his whole skincare routine, and honestly I pack travel sizes for everything, and I feel like that's kind of a little like cheat code here. If y'all get Ipsy or Birchbox, I always save up my sample sizes for things exactly like this when I'm traveling or when I just want to be really minimal. It was kind of a little challenge that I like posed for myself to pack with completely only travel size products, and I did it. So as you can see, this is just a little Ipsy pouch full of a ton of travel size skincare, and then my husband usually likes to sleep with like a face, like an eye mask. So I have his eye mask and his like little earbuds. So this is kind of his basically like get ready for bed, like nighttime routine little pouch. I don't really think that I'll be using that much. This is makeup related, but I didn't really put it with the makeup because this is just a little makeup sponge and a little travel sponge carrier, which this is really clutch. This is from Sephora, but this is really handy because it keeps your sponge from getting on stuff, and as you can see there's little holes in it, so if you have to put it away wet for any reason, again it's not gonna like touch stuff and get everything all wet or stained, and it kind of like lets it dry. I also have just kind of like floating in here one of these like reusable makeup remover wipes. This is clean even though it looks dirty. This is from Face Silk. It's kind of like the makeup eraser, like the towel where you just get it wet and it removes your makeup. It's like one of those little magical products. I love this thing. And then I also just threw in one of these itty bitty little Neutrogena makeup remover wipes. The baby is going so ham right now. And then the last two like little pouches I have in here again are both from Ipsy, and this is the little drawstring bag, and this is all makeup pretty much. So like I said, it is all travel size products, and I actually just threw my brushes in here as well. I literally just like wrapped them up in like a little rubber band for the eye brushes. The face brushes are right on top, and then I have just like a bunch of mini sizes of everything, little mini mascara, like everything, little mini foundation. So I fit an entire full face of makeup like right here. Lip products, everything. Definitely too much, definitely more than I'm going to use, but again I like to overpack just in case, you know, I don't know, I'm feeling spicy. And then last but not least, I have another little Ipsy pouch. These come so in handy, and this is kind of more like hair, not hair products, but hair accessories. So like definitely a ton of different hair ties, scrunchies, bobby pins, a little like clip, little like tiny elastic bands in case I do like a French braid. So this is kind of, I don't know, it's a cosmetics case, and I do have makeup in here, but this is kind of just all the, I guess, more beauty kind of stuff that I'm keeping in here in terms of like hair and makeup and skincare. But then I also have this other guy, which is a big guy, and this is more of like a toiletry bag. As you can tell, it definitely matches the cosmetic bag, and the little weekender bag with the really, I love this quilted gray, and this one has a handle, so this just unzips kind of like that, and this comes with a hook, which is super handy. So we may end up just like hanging this in the hospital bathroom, which is kind of why I planned to put in here what I did. It's mostly like toiletries, And this is honestly not like super overpacked. I love this bag. Even with like the little logo patch there, I just think it's so nice. And honestly, well, I guess there is a good amount of stuff in here. I have some like belly lotion that I've been using throughout my pregnancy in case I'm still needing that. I have some Q-tips. Those are like in this back pocket. These are like total like kind of body wipes. So again, sort of just a refreshing, cooling body wipe. It's not like a makeup remover or anything, but just in case I'm not up to showering or I recently showered, but I still feel like I need a refresh. You can kind of use that on like your face, of course, under your arms, kind of all over your body, anywhere maybe you're sweaty. And then just kind of a bunch of general like toiletry stuff. We already have our toothbrushes in here, but I mostly got this for the little mouthwash. But there is a backup toothbrush and a toothpaste. I have two little like kind of pouches, kind of like pre-packed. I added like one or two things to them. But these I got both from Target at the little like travel section. They have these really amazing kits there, and these both came like already packed with deodorant, toothbrushes, toothpaste, razors, shaving cream, like literally everything. I threw in like a little sample size of a cologne in case my husband ends up wanting to put cologne on. Mine has kind of similar stuff, but it also came with a loofah. It came with a body lotion, shampoo, conditioner, even like a little like cap for the toothbrush. So these I honestly thought, rather than trying to buy all these little travel size things individually, or again kind of hunting for them around the house or bringing full sizes, which I feel like would have been super annoying. These are super affordable, and you just don't need to think about it. Like all the little quick toiletries you're gonna need for just the 2 or 3 days you're in the hospital are all in here, rather than having to think about packing these things, having them already kind of like conveniently packaged up. And they both came in these pouches, so that's also convenient. I have a little hand sanitizer, a little shower gel, a little dry shampoo from Batiste. This is like my husband's kind of 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash. I have just like a little, this is actually a pumpkin spice latte scent from Bath & Body Works, little body spray. And then I actually have a brand new hairbrush. And then lastly, I just have a super mini hair straightener. It is so convenient. It's super tiny. It comes in this little case. So that is everything in the toiletry bag. And honestly, like I showed y'all, it fits so well in here. Like it's not crammed whatsoever. Well, I feel like we've been here for a while and I'm literally still on the same bag. But honestly, this is the most full and like most like, I don't know, complicated bag. Like that involves the most explanation because there's so many different things in here. Everything else we're gonna probably breeze through. This little pouch here is, I mean, if you don't do like YouTube or anything, you probably wouldn't need something like this. But this little pouch just has like my extra camera battery, my extra camera charger, extra memory cards, a little like lanyard. This is just YouTube / camera accessory type things that I definitely cannot forget. Of course, I'll need to remember my actual camera. And then these two pouches, I thought, I don't know, we're kind of good thinking. But actually, before I go into those, at the very bottom of this bag, I have a couple of things thrown in. So I want to grab those out because I definitely want to mention those. One of which is just my travel mirror, which I've had this for forever. This is from Amazon. But this is just so handy. I bring this literally every time we go anywhere. And then at the very bottom, I have kind of like a big wet bag. I got this from like the Target dollar spot. I figured this would just be handy for any like potentially really like gross laundry that I have. I am bringing like a laundry bag in my suitcase, but in case, you know, there's things that stain other things or are just like super gross in general, I have this. Or obviously a same thing for anything from the baby, or if we don't have any of that kind of stuff, this is just kind of extra storage because I'm bringing a bunch of these little tiny like reusable, well, they're not that tiny honestly, and I have a couple of these reusable bags, and I feel like these are gonna be handy for all this stuff we're gonna probably steal from the hospital. And not steal obviously, because I know what's in your room you're probably paying for. I know it's kind of smart to take basically whatever you can get away with from the hospital with you. So any extra like wipes or diapers or postpartum stuff, all those things that you kind of want to snatch from the hospital if you can. I'm bringing a couple of extra bags, and I feel like this is a really good trick because as you'll see, all the bags I have right here are completely full, like completely full. So anything we want to take with us, we wouldn't have space for. So I have a couple different bags like this stuffed in the bottom so that we definitely have room to snag some stuff. But I don't want to leave anything behind, especially, you know, if you're going to get like charged for it on your insurance and stuff, you might as well take it with you. So like I said, I have two other little pouches. I swear this is just a bag full of pouches, and then there's like pouches within the pouches. This is a little, I'm kind of using this as basically like an electronics pouch, more or less. Again, this like looks small, but honestly this fits. I have so much in here, like a ridiculous amount of stuff in here. And again, I just put all of our electronic type things all in one place. So again, I feel like in the chaos of what can be going on before, during, and after labor, having things as organized as you can, especially for the purposes of like telling your husband or your support person or whoever's there with you, like, this is in the pink pouch and you know exactly where it is because everything's categorized and it's easy for them to find. I feel like that's gonna be a lifesaver. So I have a whole bunch of different cords in here. I feel like this is gonna be kind of clutch in case there aren't a ton of outlets, or if the outlet closest to my bed is only like a 2 outlet. This is just from Amazon. I will link this for y'all. This extends the outlet from being just like 2 potentially to 6, plus it has the USB ports in it, so it's almost like 8. And of course, I feel like everyone tells you to bring really long cords for charging your phone. So I got these like 10-foot phone charging cords, plus I have 2 little wall nubs kind of shoved in between there so that we can plug it into the wall. But of course, like I showed y'all, it could also be plugged. And then I have a couple little like portable power banks. I just have like these kind of small like cheapy ones, but I also am gonna bring one of our nicer kind of like big power banks, but we just use those very frequently, so I don't have those packed yet. I also have like a little wall shelf in here that you can like just put around the outlet, and it like kind of works. Is there a picture? Yeah. It kind of works like a little shelf. So if you need to charge something, and maybe that's not our phone, maybe it's my husband's AirPods, this is just kind of handy in case there's like nowhere to put your stuff down. And then I have a little nightlight, which I might be bringing a bigger nightlight. So I will show y'all that. That's kind of in like on the chopping block, but I'm definitely gonna bring this little nightlight just in case. And then I have my Apple Watch charger. I have the charger for the power banks. And then I also have this little portable Bluetooth speaker. This is from Anchor. We love this one. It's so super tiny, but honestly, it's amazing. I don't know if we're gonna necessarily use this, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to have. So can you believe all of that, like all of that tech stuff fits in this little pouch? Oh my gosh, I literally cannot get comfortable. And also, I'm kind of sweaty because I'm just that pregnant where I'm constantly sweaty. So I think we're gonna lose the shacket, as comfy as that is. And then this last little pouch in here, I'm kind of calling this like my labor and delivery pouch. These are all things that I think are gonna be specifically used during labor and delivery, probably not really before and not really after. So I kind of wanted to separate those things. So again, in like the chaotic moments that those will probably be, I can just have my husband grab this. This can sit on like the little side table and it'll just be easily accessible. So I have in here kind of a random assortment of stuff. I have a headband in case my hair is just all up in my face. I have some eyeglasses wipes because they definitely say not to wear your contacts, I believe, and I don't wear my contacts that much anyway, but if my eyeglasses get like sweaty or get makeup on them, I can't stand that. I have a little ice bag. Do y'all remember these? I feel like our parents or like our grandparents had these back in the day, but this is one of those little things that is kind of like insulated, and you fill this up with ice, and then you've probably seen this in like the olden times, like commercials. It kind of like poofs out, and then you can like put it on your forehead or I guess wherever you need to cool off. So I thought this was the cutest little thing. I got this from Amazon. They have a bunch of different prints. I got the strawberry one. I figured rather than bringing an ice pack, which obviously needs to go in a freezer and it takes time for that to cool and freeze, and then obviously if you use it, it has to go back in the freezer and it takes, you know, however many hours to freeze again. Thought this was a better option because you can just keep filling this with ice. Usually there's gonna be like an ice machine or something, and then you can just constantly fill this up with ice if you're just like really hot or uncomfortable, or if your back is hurting and stuff like that, and get a little bit of cooling relief without having to constantly rotate ice packs. So I thought that was kind of clutch. Kind of along the same lines, this obviously doesn't fit in this little pouch, but this is a hot water bottle, or like a hot water bottle bag. I think they just call these hot water bottles, but it's basically like a little plastic, I don't know, kind of like a silicone bag in here. And actually this one's like the nicest one of all time. I cannot even explain to y'all how soft this is. This is from Amazon as well. I will link it. It is incredible. But kind of along the same lines, you can just fill this with boiling water, and you can use this, you know, anywhere on your body. If your back's hurting, if your like incisions hurting, if there's anywhere where you just kind of need some like heat relief, this is a really fast way to do it. Again, rather than bringing one of those like microwavable ones in case you don't have a microwave in your room. And I feel like those are sketchy and catch on fire a lot. Obviously you can go down to like the hospital cafeteria and get boiling water and just keep filling this up, and then if it cools off, you can just keep refilling it. I feel like these both kind of work in the same way, rather than using an alternative that would take a little bit more time. Plus this is just so stinking soft. And then I don't know, a couple other, I I guess, labor and delivery type items in this little pouch. I put some of these little Pedialyte packets in here. I'm also bringing Gatorade, which you'll see, but I think electrolyte type things are definitely important. I'm bringing like my favorite face towel. This is the softest face towel ever. So again, if I'm sweaty or I just want something kind of like damp. I also have a little like Vaseline lip ointment, lip therapy. I hear your lips can get really chapped with all the breathing and all that kind of stuff. I have a little massage ball. This is also from Target. These are super affordable. Obviously, I know when you are laboring, sometimes a massage really helps, and I thought this would be handy for my husband to use. Just kind of roll this around my back or my feet or kind of like wherever I feel like I need it. And then I just have cooling facial spray. This is the Clinique Moisture Surge facial spray. This is not like a setting spray for makeup or anything like that. It's literally just more like a skincare type product. So again, I feel like if I'm just feeling gross, if I'm sweating a lot, whatever it might be, this might come in handy just to kind of cool me off and just kind of refresh me a little bit. Kind of along the same lines as the Vaseline, I also have this lip oil in here. I love a lip oil when my lips are getting very trapped. Of course, I have some nipple lotion in here. I guess this is not technically labor and delivery related, but it's definitely specific to me. Maybe I should put this with the baby stuff actually, even though this isn't like for him. I feel like this is more related to once he's here. It's like a baby product. So I think I'm gonna move that. See, we're like figuring this all out together. And then last but not least, in here I have a little like mini fan. Again, this is also from Amazon, and I feel like this is gonna come in real handy as well. I actually have another fan option, which I will show you. And again, that's kind of on the chopping block. I don't know how necessary that's gonna be, especially because I have this guy. It has like a couple different settings, and it folds up really nice and small. I have actually the charger for it in here. It just charges by USB, and it also has a nightlight on it, or like a flashlight, which I don't know necessarily what you would need that for. So that's my little kind of like labor and delivery pouch, I guess you would call it. So that is everything in this bag, and I feel like honestly the rest of the stuff I'm going to show y'all is very like high level stuff. It's honestly like kind of a lot more of the obvious stuff, so I think the rest of this video will probably fly by a lot faster than this portion is. I feel like when people talk about what you need in your hospital bag, it's a lot of the stuff that I just showed y'all in terms of kind of the stuff that's very labor and delivery specific, or the stuff that is maybe kind of easy to forget or you wouldn't think about. It's kind of a lot of little things, which is why I feel like we just spent however much time we've spent on this bag, which I know is kind of a lot. I feel like that's why. So this is kind of the bulk of it, and I feel like if you're working on your hospital bag list, I kind of hit a lot of the major items in this bag, which is also why I packed them all together, because I feel like these are kind of the things that are just going to provide the most convenience and the most comfort. I guess next, let's talk about the stuff I'm bringing specifically for the baby. But this is his little bag, and as y'all can tell, it matches mine almost exactly, except this is actually the kid version. Like, that's meant to be the adult version, and this is the kid version. So it's a little bit of a different shape. It's kind of more of a duffel bag kind of shape, and it doesn't have the gray at the bottom, but otherwise it's very similar. And I did put his initials on here in the same color and the same style as my bag. So we have matching little bags, which I think is so much fun. And maybe I'll make that kind of a tradition, like for each baby they get their own like personalized duffel bag. And obviously this is not just for him, just for the hospital. I feel like this is gonna be his overnight bag for probably a good chunk of his life. If we go, you know, anywhere and we're staying overnight, even while he's a baby, I feel like I'll pack his clothes in here. And then even when he's like a toddler and he stays overnight with his grandparents, or even when he's like young and starts going to sleepovers, like I feel like this is just gonna be his overnight bag for a really good chunk of his life. So in here I have kind of a lot of the basic stuff, and honestly most of it is just clothes, so I'm not going to necessarily take out like each individual thing, but I'll give you kind of an overview. And here's how it's kind of packed, just so you can kind of get a little overview. I basically have like two different piles of clothes and kind of his, I don't know, toiletry, almost not really toiletries, but like smaller things in the middle here, and then kind of a bigger pile on the side for the bigger items. But again, even though this is like kind of a small bag, this is so deceivingly big. Like I showed y'all, there's multiple piles, and I actually have some stuff on both sides too. I'll give you all a little quick overview. Here's kind of what this looks like. So like I said, I have the two piles of clothes, a little pouch, and then a few things over there, a couple of things here, and then like a bigger pile along the side here. Look how nicely everything fits. It's just, I love this bag. And I had to switch out my camera battery. So we got a fresh battery, and in here, it looks like I have a ton of stuff, but I just have a lot of similar things. The definitely most important thing, this is his little like name announcement little plaque sort of thing. We're gonna take a picture of him with to announce his name, so that's right on top so we don't forget that. And I think we're gonna do that picture in a little matching like swaddle hat sort of thing with like this kind of on him, so I have kind of our like, I don't know, announcement photo type stuff right on top. And then that whole kind of like left like side, like the bigger pile that I was showing y'all, those were right on top of there. And I have kind of similar like bigger type items, so I have like another swaddle, like a Velcro swaddle from Swaddle Me. Of course this is a swaddle as well, but I wanted to have some options, so I'm also bringing just like a little flannel kind of receiving swaddle blanket. Again, I know that they give you like that little the white blanket with like the pink and blue stripes at the top. I know that they will have those to swaddle him in, and that little matching hat and stuff like that. And then I have this really big fluffy blanket in here. I don't want to like take it out because everything's folded up really nice, but I have a really nice like Barefoot Dreams dupe baby blanket in here. So soft. And then kind of just like right next to that pile, just sort of shoved in, I just have a little toy. And then the other two piles are just clothes, like y'all saw. One pile is 0 to 3 month and one pile is newborn, because I have no idea. I mean, I have a feeling he's going to be definitely on the larger size. I don't think we're gonna get much use out of our newborn clothes, but just in case, I have some like regular onesies, and then I also have a couple of the kimono style ones that snap to the side so they don't bother his umbilical cord. I have a little pair of sweatpants. I have a gown. This is like one of the sleep gowns that's just like totally open and elastic at the bottom, so that is super easy access for diaper changes. And then I just have a bunch of sleepers. I think I have like 3 or 4 footed sleepers. And then the other side has kind of similar things, just in 0 to 3 months. So we have his going home outfit, just kind of like a little sweater jumpsuit. It's gonna be so cute. And then this is actually a gown as well, but this is a zippered gown, just as easily accessible as the other one. There's just the one extra step of unzippering it. This is actually from Posh Peanut. I did a whole little haul on some Posh Peanut and some Kite Baby stuff I got. I know you can technically like not bring any clothes except for whatever he's wearing home, because they can just wear the little t-shirt. All of this probably very unnecessary. I have the cutest little Halloween little sleeper. This is actually like a fleece one. This is super warm, again, since he's gonna be a fall Halloween baby. I have some other just like plain onesies for layering. I have another gown that's completely open at the bottom. I have a whole bunch of different little outfit options, whether it's for pictures or actually like wearing while we're there. And then kind of just like shoved in the little like side where there's even more room, because this is such a big spacious bag. I have 2 little Burp Cloths. So this one is just a Burt's Bees little, I don't know, kind of like a flannel. And then this one back here has his initials on it, and it's just kind of like a blue little bear one. So again, I don't know how much use a burp cloth will get in those first couple days, but I have those. And then I also have a little sound machine. This is the Frida Baby or the Frida Mom one, which I had never even heard about this one until recently, but I feel like Ken needs to sleep with a sound machine, and I think the baby might sleep a little better with a sound machine as well, or we might just attach this to the car seat for the ride home if he needs a little bit of like kind of calming down as well. Plus this one actually has a nightlight on it too, in different like levels. So this is kind of like a multi-use product. And then lastly, I just have this little pouch in here. This came as one of a set from Amazon, which I can link. I'm obsessed with them. I have a bunch of them in my diaper bag, and this one just says baby things, so I put all the baby things in here, and these are just things that would kind of be floating around the bag otherwise. So I did just throw that nipple cream in here, like I said. And then I have the charger for the little Frida Baby sound machine. I have some mittens. I have a bunch of socks. This is a little bib. Again, he probably won't need that, but just in case. I have these little like booty slippers in here. and then a little baby, like super tiny little pacifier, and that kind of slides right in there, and that's everything for him. So I feel like even though it's a pretty full bag, you could easily trim each pile down by half and still have everything that you're gonna need. I feel like the main stuff is just like the going home outfit, any of the things like props and stuff you'll need for photos, and then definitely probably a blanket for the car ride, like the car seat, stuff like that. Otherwise, you probably don't even need most of this stuff. As you can tell, I'm not bringing like diapers or wipes or really anything for him other than stuff for him to wear. I also have kind of like sitting on top of that bag, just it's not really gonna fit in there. We might just leave this in the car and use this once we actually like get in the car for the ride home. But this is the sweetest little thing. My mom knitted this, like hand knitted this for him. So this is gonna kind of be his baby blanket, his like, I don't know, you know, kind of the blanket that your grandma gives you that you probably use forever and have it until you have kids. Like one of those things. How pretty is the color scheme and the whole pattern? I just love this. It's actually huge. This is very folded up. I think she said it was a crib size, but I do want to bring that just because it's obviously really special. Next, let me show y'all this snack bag. And there's honestly like, I mean, this is pretty full, but there's not a ton in here. This is actually, believe it or not, from Marley Lily as well. And this is just a big cooler bag. I also got this monogrammed in the gold. I just think this is the cutest bag of all time. It's honestly very big and very heavy. You know, usually during labor and delivery, you being me, like the mom, doesn't really get to eat a whole bunch. But I know afterwards, I'm probably gonna be hungry. I know my husband's definitely gonna want a lot of snacks and things to eat, especially because they don't feed the husband. They only feed the patient, which is me and the baby. But I have heard there's a couple good like tips and tricks for stuff to bring for mom during labor and delivery. So I won't show you everything that's in here because honestly it's just like a lot of snacks for my husband. Like I have a box of granola bars, I have like some kind of candies, I have like some Cheetos in here, just like some random stuff for him. We're probably gonna throw maybe some sandwiches in here. Obviously he can eat at the cafeteria there or he can run out and get food, but just in case he doesn't want to go anywhere, I don't want him to be in a pinch. So I definitely want to have a good amount of snacks and stuff to hold us over kind of in between. The one thing that I did here is really good for mom to have, like I showed y'all, I'm bringing those Pedialyte packets, which will be good to mix with water. And for the purposes of like electrolytes and a little bit of sugar and stuff like that, I grabbed a whole bunch of Gatorade. Obviously my husband can have these too, but typically they'll let you drink clear liquids, but they'll also provide you a little bit of like sustenance and energy in terms of calories and sugar and stuff like that. And then, like I said, you're not allowed to eat anything, but typically you can have clear liquids, like you can suck on stuff, so ice or like popsicles, but I didn't want to bring anything frozen because obviously, again, if you don't have a freezer or you don't know when you're going to the hospital, I feel like the last thing you want to do is try to remember stuff from the freezer. Just grab some stuff, like some hard candies. That's what I heard were good to bring, so I just got some of the Werther's caramel little hard candies, which I freaking love these, and then also just some mints. That's some of the stuff I have in here. Like I said, I'm going to be adding a little bit more. And then this is also just kind of a bigger thing, so I'll just point this out now. This is obviously the Boppy breastfeeding pillow. It's still in the container and everything. However, I did take the cover off and wash it and everything, and I actually took off the cover and put on the waterproof cover. The waterproof cover goes like under this cover that you can see, but on top of the actual Boppy pillow. But I have heard it's really good to bring this, especially if you obviously plan on breastfeeding and there's obviously a lactation consultant at the hospital. So just to practice like from the get-go breastfeeding with a pillow, I think this is probably the way I'm going to breastfeed for the most part. So learning with this from the very beginning I think will be helpful. Even though this kind of sucks because it's huge, it's so bulky, I have heard a lot of people really recommend bringing the Boppy pillow with you for learning purposes. And then we have my husband's hospital bag, which honestly looks a lot like, if y'all remember the hospital bag I showed y'all for me, it's like the quilted kind of light gray with the dark bottom. I've had this duffel bag for a long time, but this is honestly very similar. It's like a quilted light gray with like a darker gray bottom. So honestly, these kind of all match, and this I didn't really do intentionally, it just worked out that way. And honestly, my husband's is really not that exciting. I have a reusable water bottle for him to bring for the same reasons as me. And then he just has honestly like comfy clothes. I have like joggers and hoodies and PJ pants, boxers, t-shirts, you know, all of that kind of stuff in here. I actually have a couple more at the very bottom of this, a couple more of those like little reusable bags for taking home any goodies from the hospital. And I actually just shoved in here, which I don't know why I put these in his bag instead of my own, but these, well, him and I honestly have almost the same size size foot so we could share these, but I just brought a pair of, these are just Old Navy, like the super cheap flip-flops as like shower shoes. Oh my gosh, the baby is going so crazy right now. He's probably like, lady, why are you talking so much? I'm trying to sleep. Shut up. Sorry, buddy. I'm almost done. I've heard that having kind of like shower flip-flops is a good idea. I don't know if we'll use them or not, if we're really gonna care about that, but just in case. So that's my husband's bag. There might be some stuff missing in there, but kind of like I showed y'all, my bag has a lot of his toiletries, his skincare. So really his bag is just exclusively like the comfy clothes that he's gonna wear while we're there. And then I also have, I had to get up to get this, I have a stack of like blankets and pillowcases here. This is a really, really big blanket that will be for my husband, for the couch or cot or whatever he ends up sleeping on. It's huge, it's super soft. I washed all of this. This blanket will be for me. Obviously my bed will probably have plenty of bedding on it, but I've just heard kind of having like a cozy blanket and something from home just kind of like makes you feel a little bit better while you're there. And then I have a bunch of pillowcases at the top here. Look how fluffy. This one's super fluffy. I love this one. I love the color. This one's kind of a silk one, and this is another really, really fluffy, like almost like a Sherpa. So obviously there's no pillows in those pillowcases yet, but we're still sleeping on our pillows. Obviously that's one of those things that's gonna kind of linger, but they definitely say if you do end up bringing your own pillows to the hospital, which basically everyone I've talked to says to definitely do that. Everything says to make sure you have your own pillowcase on them and something that's not white, so they don't get kind of confused with the hospital pillows. So I purposely got obviously different pillowcases, and I got ones that are like extra cozy and cuddly. And then I'm gonna show y'all my suitcase last, because I think I'm gonna probably flip the camera around just because it's like a rolling suitcase, like it's a whole hard-sided suitcase. So I'm just gonna wrap up with the last couple things that are not in there, and those are the two things like I mentioned that are kind of on the chopping block. I got this fan, which kind of like the tripod I showed y'all, it kind of has those like bendy legs. They call this like the jellyfish one. This is from Amazon, so I can definitely link this as well. It's white, it's really cute. It doesn't look like your traditional fan because it just like, I don't know, it comes out of this little portion. It doesn't really like spin like a normal fan, so I thought that was kind of cool and different. And I feel like this could be handy because since it does have the really like bendy little octopus legs, you could wrap this around kind of like the bars on your hospital bed, or you could just stand this up and kind of have it freestanding. But it's also just kind of like big and bulky, and it's just like another thing to bring. And as y'all can see, I'm already just bringing so much stuff, but at the same time, that other fan that I showed y'all just has to be held by someone. Like my husband would have to hold it, or I would have to hold it, and that also seems kind of inconvenient. I'm still kind of deciding. And then this is actually the nightlight we have for the nursery for the baby's room. It's actually the same nightlight that I use in my room, more as like a reading light. I don't sleep with it on, but I love this. It's from Amazon. This is my second time purchasing it because I love the one we have in our bedroom. They actually call it a baby nightlight. You can charge it and then use it portably, so you don't have to have it plugged in. It's really easy to operate. I like the different light settings, but again, it's just kind of like a whole thing, and I feel like these two things could potentially be unnecessary because, like I said, I have a little portable fan and I have that super tiny little nightlight that we can just plug into the wall, but I don't know if that nightlight's gonna cut it because it is so tiny, but it's just like more to pack. So I don't know. And then I'm gonna show y'all, like I said, my big suitcase right here. I actually have a couple of things on top of the suitcase, which are basically just the things that I think we're gonna wear to the hospital. My to the hospital outfit isn't completely situated yet, but my husband's is. And also, I don't think we're gonna be in like a rush. We can take a little bit of time getting dressed before we leave. And then as for my bag, I'm going to show y'all what's in here. It definitely needs a couple more things, so I'll flip you around in a second. But I have the little cow pack. I love this color. It's like a really pretty, kind of like taupey nude. This is just like a cow pack carry-on size. Here's a little overview. For the sake of time and not having to unpack this whole entire bag, I'm just gonna give y'all kind of like a general idea of what I have in here. I did use packing cubes, which I definitely heard was a good idea, again, just for organizational purposes. So in this bigger one, I just have basically PJs. I have nightgowns that button down. I have PJ like shorts with tops that button down. I have kind of like a thinner robe. I have like a much bigger, fluffier robe. It's like huge, and I have it here actually right next to me, and I really want to bring it because it's so cozy, but I really just don't think I can fit it. But everyone says to bring like a cozy robe, and they say it's just like really, really worth it, but I don't think I have room for it, but I do have kind of a thinner robe in here, and everything's in very dark colors. And then this bag is more, I don't know, kind of like undergarments. I have nursing bras, nursing tank tops, a couple different types of nursing bras and tank tops, and then a bunch of different socks. Really warm and cozy. A couple of the pairs are actually like hospital socks. They have the little grippies on the bottom. I have a pair from Motherhood Maternity that says, if you're reading this, I'm about to be a mom, or something like that. And then I also have a bunch of maternity underwear in there as well. And then I feel like comfy and cozy is the name of the game, especially at least for us since we're giving birth in the fall time. I have a really comfy loose cardigan. I actually have also like a little beanie cap, again just in case I don't want to deal with my hair or if it is a little bit colder than we're expecting. And then on this side kind of like a zippers closed, I have a giant laundry bag. I also have a hair towel. This is like one of the ones that like kind of has the elastic that goes around the little button that you can put your hair into a turban. I have basically all the rest of my clothes and I guess a couple hot tools. So I kind of just have like this big comfy, kind of like lightweight jumpsuit from Old Navy that is just gonna be so comfy. I'm probably gonna wear that home. I have another big comfy cardigan, a really like chunky knit cardigan. And then again, just more like nursing tanks. I have a little Henley, some sweatpants, just general like comfy clothes. Again, definitely too many, definitely overpacked. I wanted to have options. I think I have a pair of leggings in here as well. And then in case I just want to do my hair at least a little bit for photos and stuff, I have this kind of like straightener brush that's just super easy to use. This is just so low maintenance. And then I also purchased, I heard this was a really good idea, to just bring like a mini hair dryer. I purchased this from Target. I didn't have one, but honestly I feel like having a portable mini hair dryer is just kind of a good idea. So it's very compact, easy to squeeze in here. And then I have a pair of slippers, which is also something everyone recommended, is to have some comfy shoes, keep your feet warm, walk around the hospital. Even for going home, I can honestly wear these home because they do have like treads. And like I said, I'm gonna tell y'all what's not in the bags yet, which honestly isn't very much, and I know this video is probably forever long already. I did want to mention though, because I know some people do this, and again, I haven't decided if I'm going to do this or not, but I do have my diaper bag totally packed. This is the Dagny Dover, the Wade diaper bag. They actually just came back out with these, and I have that fully packed. I actually have a whole video I've already totally filmed how this is packed and what's in here. I know a lot of people bring the diaper bag to the hospital. I don't necessarily see a need for it because the hospital has a lot of the stuff that's in here, and I feel like, you know, a lot of the stuff that would be in here I kind of have accounted for in other ways. But also, I guess you could theoretically need to do a diaper change on the way home. We don't live very far from our hospital, but maybe if you do, or if you have to stop anywhere on the way home, I know some people do bring their diaper bag. I don't know if I'm one of them. But as y'all can tell, I definitely packed a lot. Like y'all saw that clip. I'll insert that clip again from the beginning of just like how much stuff this is. I feel like this is gonna literally take up our entire trunk plus like our back seat. I feel like it looks like we're going on a trip for like 2 weeks, and it's probably gonna be like 72 hours honestly. But again, I have my whole little like bullet point list here. Of course, like my purse with, they definitely recommend having like cash and coins with you for the vending machine and stuff for your husband or even yourself. Definitely, of course, health insurance. The outfit I want to wear to the hospital, like I said, isn't fully ironed out yet, and I'm still wearing a lot of my maternity stuff, so I didn't want to totally set aside everything that I'm still wearing now. But I do need to set aside whatever I'm wearing to the hospital. Maybe I'll even end up wearing that back home. Some people do bring their breast pump, and I kind of thought about that because you can have the lactation consultant there help you with the phalanges and get your sizing right. I feel like that's kind of unnecessary, and it's just another big thing to bring with us. Same with like nursing pads, like the nursing pads you put in your bra to kind of like soak up any leakage. Definitely something that you could bring, but I think the hospital may have those. I don't know for 100% sure, and obviously every hospital is probably a little bit different, but I also just don't think leaking is going to be too much of a problem in those first like 2-3 days. I know some people don't leak at all, so it's like one of those things that I feel like you might need, but I can do without. Same with even the nipple cream. That's probably a little bit unnecessary. I don't know, and probably the hospital might have something like that too, but if you want to be really overpacked, you could bring it. I wouldn't judge you at all. Obviously the pillows, like I mentioned, are still on our bed. We need to grab those. And then any kind of like entertainment type stuff, like I showed y'all, I have my iPad case in there, so I'm gonna throw my iPad in there. And then also books, like whatever book I'm reading, whatever book my husband's reading. I feel like there's gonna be some downtime, at least for him probably, where he's just gonna be chilling. I'll probably be sleeping during my downtime. I am gonna bring my contacts. Like I said, typically I don't think they let you or encourage you to wear them during labor and delivery, but afterwards or for pictures or something, I typically wear my glasses anyway. But I'm gonna bring my contacts just in case. And then kind of any other like camera stuff. Like I showed y'all, I have that little camera case that has some backup stuff, but obviously I need my camera. I need more than just the battery that's in there. I need all the extra batteries that I'm currently kind of cycling between. I definitely need my big like memory card that I'm filming on right now. So kind of all my other camera related stuff I'll need to grab like as we're leaving. And then as for my husband's like section, he sleeps with like a mouth guard in for grinding his teeth, so he's gonna need his mouth guard. He's gonna obviously need his book and his iPad, probably his AirPods, stuff like that for entertainment. We have his snacks, but we're gonna want to bring, like I said, probably something a little bit more hearty, like sandwiches and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna probably make just a bunch of like turkey sandwiches and stuff. And then honestly the only other things like in terms of stuff for the baby is just the car seat. Obviously we need to put that in the car, but I feel like that's a last minute thing. You don't really want to be driving around with the car seat in the car just in case, God forbid, you get in an accident. And that's basically it. I have also heard putting a nail file in is good because apparently the hospital doesn't file their nails or doesn't have nail files, but I guess they have mittens at the hospital and I'm bringing mittens, so maybe it's unnecessary, but I might just throw like a nail file into one of the bags in case for whatever reason he does come out with like claws. But other than that, I feel like the list of stuff we have lingering is pretty minimal and it's just stuff that we're still using. I feel like we're good to go, which we ought to be because this was a ton of stuff. And I know this video was probably crazy long. I know I've been filming for a while, but I also knew this was gonna be a long video because it's a lot of stuff and I really like to be thorough. And I feel like, again, if you're trying to save yourself a bunch of research rather than researching for hours, watching a ton of videos and reading a ton of articles and blog posts, hopefully watching a slightly longer video like this that's kind of like all-inclusive and really comprehensive, even though it's longer, helps you save time in the long run because this is like everything. This list is like 3 pages long. I really went through it and did a lot of research and eliminated stuff that's unnecessary. For example, like you definitely don't need to bring your own maxi pads, your own diapers, your own dermaplast spray. Like you could bring all that stuff and I've definitely heard that mentioned in hospital bag videos, but you just don't need to bring that stuff. The hospital is gonna have all that stuff for you. Same with diapers and wipes and any creams for the baby, lotions, stuff like that. You don't need to bring that. Same with like hemorrhoid pads and like the little peri bottles. The hospital is gonna have that. That's honestly probably the stuff that I'm gonna end up taking from the hospital because they're gonna provide all that, and a lot of stuff you're getting charged for anyway because they're providing it. And I've heard whether you use it or not, it's just kind of like a bill to the insurance as part of the whole like labor and delivery package. You might as well take advantage of what they have. That's coming from an overpacker. I love to bring extra stuff. I like truly enjoy that. I'm just gonna let them do what they do and take advantage of what they're there for, what they have, what we're gonna be paying for. So I definitely think there's stuff you can skip out on. That's another thing. People really recommended to bring like your own bath towels because apparently the towels at the hospital are really thin and small. But honestly, I feel like the time I'm spending with a bath towel is so minimal that I can just suck it up and use whatever towel they give me. These towels are big and bulky. Like you saw that pile of blankets. Am I gonna bring 2 or 3 bath towels for me and my husband? That would be a huge pile. You have to remember to bring them home. And to be honest, I saw someone say this and then it like changed everything for me. I know I'm gonna be leaking all kinds of stuff from blood and whatever the heck else is coming out of me. I'm not staining my own stuff. I'm gonna stain the hospital stuff. So their gowns and their bed sheets and their towels can get all this gunk that's coming from every crevice of my body. I don't need to ruin my stuff. And then also potentially bring home stained towels or wet towels that are still damp and they're in the car, maybe getting other stuff damp, and then that's just more laundry. That just seems unnecessary. I can just deal with whatever towels are there. I'm gonna be drying off for 2 seconds and then getting back into a gown, or PJs or other clothes. So I think I can suck it up. Anyway, like I said, let me know what y'all ended up bringing, what you didn't bring. If you've already experienced labor and delivery, like what did you find was super necessary? What was super unnecessary? I've seen people do update videos where they talk about like what they actually use, like either what they regret bringing or what they wish they brought or whatever. I feel like I might want to do a video like that. And honestly, the idea of coming home like 2 days postpartum and then having to do all this like laundry and unpacking also sounds so annoying. So I don't even know when after we get home if that's even going to be addressed. But that's basically everything for this video. I hope that y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here. And until next time, I will see y'all in our next video. Bye guys.